Now who do you go to?
And now Grambling has a new quarterback. J.P. Tillman is in. And he'll hand it off to Cornelius Walker. You see big bodies for that Grambling line pushing Braves for a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 5 coming up. All right, now J.P. Tillman got a chance to play a little bit against the Wolfpack out in Reno. Threw a couple of passes, none of those complete. He's a transfer, had been at Missouri.
I mean, he's one that the coaching staff, they like him. They say, hey, he's a guy who can come in and do it. And he was going to play in this game regardless. So although Dylan came out and struggled, he might have got the hook early, but Tillman was going to get some reps in this game.
And he gets him in great field position. Nice little pass there, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Tigers, the 10-yard line. Catch made by Nick Lewis, the experienced receiver on this Tiger team. And Grambling making the big plays. They've had a blocked punt for a touchdown and now 2 interceptions. And they may be able to cash in on this one.
It seems like Tillman's giving them a little bit of a spark, and more importantly, some type of rhythm on the offense. I mean, that last play was a perfectly executed pass. 12-yard out route, he delivered it right on the number. So maybe Tillman's got the ability to come in here and calm him down.
He also had time to throw it.
He did.
Time here also goes underneath, and there's Batiste inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. And they talk about ETN makes the stop. They want Batiste to get a lot of touches.
Yeah, he's one of those exciting playmakers they have, and just like the rest of this offense, he's just a baby. He's a freshman, but he's one of the guys that line him up at the slot. He may touch the ball as a running back in this game. He's just that Mr. Excitement for the Grambling State Tigers.
Coaches told us that redshirt freshman Batiste, so he was around last year but did not play, and he had the best camp of anybody on this roster by far. Goes to his 2nd read, and that is almost intercepted. Looked like he was trying to find the fullback coming out of the backfield, but he was covered. And then went underneath to Donnell, the tight end, and that didn't work either, as you saw. So brings up 3rd down and goal.
Take a look at him. Look on the left. He's going to lock in to his fullback on the left side. Down here, you can't afford to go all the way back. If you're going to hit that pass, you got to throw it on that backside shoulder. So Tillman was very fortunate that ball was not picked off.
Pumps once, wide open,
nice.
Touchdown! That is Donnell, the junior from Ozark, Alabama. And finally, the Grambling offense gets points on the board.
Wow, great job by J.P. Tillman to move the linebacker out of space and help free up the tight end for the touchdown score.
Leal on to try to make it 14-0. He did not. So the Braves defense beginning to weaken just a little bit. How long can they keep pushing that boulder up the hill?
Yeah, man, take a look at Tillman. Look at him, look him off to the left. Pump fake right there with that shoulder. Freezes the linebacker, Marcus Cooper, allows Larry Donnell to get wide open. Just that little pump hitch. Froze the linebacker, created some extra space. Easy throw by J.P. Tillman.
Well, if you're the Braves and you are Dino Dawson, the offensive coordinator, you're having a ball again for the Tigers. Now, we did know he was going to play behind Greg Dillon, and he did lead them to a touchdown with a nice strike to Larry Donnell. Big opportunity here, Jay, for Grambling to really seize this game by the throat. Good execution underneath to Batiste, and you see the playmaking ability. Oh, what a run this is to the 39-yard line before Josh Cragen brought him down.
I like the decision making by the quarterback, J.P. Tillman. Just look how quickly he makes his decision. Look, I'm getting rid of the ball, get the ball to a guy in space, and let the playmakers make it happen. 2 defenders had an opportunity to bring him down. 3, 4 different defenders could have made the tackle. Finally, Josh Cragen got it done, but good decision by J.P. Tillman.
In trouble, and he makes another good decision.
You can tell he's got a nice feel for the game right now. And his decision making, hey, it's not there. Let me hurry up and get rid of the football. So Tillman's come in here and provided some leadership. And he's a transfer from the University of Missouri, and he's got some skills. He's got some tools there and showing some leadership right now.
Going for it all right here. And just overthrew his man. Good coverage that time by Roderick Williams. Absolutely stride for stride with Nick Lewis.
And Roberts played a pretty good first half thus far. When you talk about the...
You can dial up now if you're Alcorn. They've tried to throw it deep. It hasn't worked. They've gone underneath. It hasn't worked that much. And Buckley's had a hard time running the ball. Throws it into traffic and nearly intercepted. That's T.J. McCord from the free safety position. Junior from 8 Mile, Alabama on the coverage, and nearly a third interception for the Tiger defense. So a guy who's probably gotten more camera time than almost any other Brave today, Alexander Olfke, their punter.
McCord, you got to come away with that interception. That could have been almost a game-clinching interception here early in the third quarter.
Thompson with a fair catch. Great field position at the 37-yard line. You see him hang his head. He knew after he caught it that he had room to run.
And now the youthfulness of the Grambling Tigers starting to show in plays like that, mental errors.
Well, we are at Eddie Robinson Stadium here in Grambling, Louisiana. There's no way you can think of college football without thinking of Eddie Robinson, who coached here from 1941 to 1997. 408 victories. 408 wins, only 165 losses, and 15 ties. A career that spanned 11 presidents, 17 SWAC titles, and 9 national black college championships. And has one of only 2 numbers retired here. Tank Younger's 22 is the other one, but it's impossible. You can still feel his presence here after all those years. Passed away last year, and everywhere you walk around here, J.P. Tillman stays in at quarterback, by the way. Everywhere you go here, and you think of the men who played for him and the men that went on to become Hall of Famers in professional football, Eddie Robinson touched a lot of lives.
Robinson on the tackle.
This is a popular way to call plays now. You notice they run everybody to the line and then stop everything. Get your signal. One-on-one, going to the tight end. Flag down, it doesn't matter. Donnell trying to break free. And finally wrestled down at the 20-yard line. A 41-yard catch. Hall was on the coverage. Now, he's not real happy with the call. I can tell you by the reaction of the Alcorn defensive backs. This is pass interference. It will be denied. How about sending the tight end deep?
Officials' mic still not working, but you can.
Timeout signal from Tillman is a half a second late. He's a target because that ball was loose. They're going to play conservatively on the ground. Man, did Cornelius Walker take a shot. He tried to fool the officials by bouncing up because he hit the ground so quickly. And we have a Brave player down on the field.
Unfortunately, the guys are starting to go down. That's Josh Craig, and the outside linebacker for Alcorn State, down on the ground. But, you know, when you come to the stadium, you got to talk about Eddie Robinson, and we talked about the tribute that he's done and everything he meant to not just black college football. One of the things I don't like is he gets labeled just with black college. Eddie Robinson was probably one of the proudest Americans you'd ever meet in your lifetime. Everything was all about America. A great place to live, great place to grow up, and all the opportunities that you have. And I really like seeing the shirt they have that they go around here with the number 1. You know, Eddie Robinson had 1 wife, he had 1 job, he coached at 1 college. There's only 1 Eddie Robinson. And as long as they're playing football here in Grambling, Louisiana, that shadow is going to stay over whoever's on the sideline, whether it be Doug Williams, Melvin Spears, or Raw Broadway. This is and always will be the house that Eddie Robinson built.
And the talent that he coached and the talent that he attracted here and the men he turned out as men, not just football players, but take a look at that foursome right there. Willie Brown, Buck Buchanan, Willie Davis, and Charlie Joyner, who came here along with so many others. Doug Williams is a name that, of course, he coached here and was a brilliant quarterback in the National Football League and a Super Bowl winner. Yeah, this is it's exciting to be here and to feel that presence. Screen and well set up. Great tackle from behind and maybe a saver by Lee Robinson. That was a beautiful play by Robinson because that was one of the best executed plays of the night by either team.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You have to say the best play has been a screen, but look at the timing on this one. Let one guy get upfield, beat you upfield. He thinks he beat you, and then a good job of setting up the blocks by Walker, allowing the folks to get out there and get a body on the body. And you're right, if Lee Robinson had not made that tackle from behind, Walker would have walked into the end zone.
That was great closing speed that time by Robinson. He just put on a burst to make that stop. Got 10 seconds to get this play off. Cross is open. Wrestling match for the end zone, and it's a touchdown. The strength of Larry Donnell. The second time he's been in the end zone tonight.
They label Larry Donnell a tight end, but he seems to do his most damage when he's out there flanked out one-on-one, taking advantage of the matchups and the speed and the strength. He goes 6'5", 225 pounds, and watch him body up. I like the decision, get rid of it quickly, and look at him. When you're 6'5", 220, you don't go down easily. Just start leaning forward, and the great ones know where that end zone is. Larry Donnell knew where the end zone was.
His second touchdown of the night. He only had one catch last week, but he's been a significant contributor this evening. We have a Alcorn player down, and looks like it might be Cordera Hall. That is the sophomore from Rosedale, Mississippi.
He was a cornerback that had to guard Larry Donnell on that last touchdown, so looks like he might have got a cramp there.
Well, how about J.P. Tillman in relief of Greg Dillon? 7 of 11, 94 yards, and now 2 touchdown passes to Donnell.
You think there's a quarterback controversy brewing here early in the season?
Would you want to start one?
Well, we talked about that with Broadway yesterday, and he said, I believe in competition every week of the season. So the best man's going to play, and J.P. Tillman looks like he's trying to get a stranglehold on this starting quarterback job.
1 for 2 here. Trying to make it 21, a little bit short. So Grambling has missed 2-point after touchdowns. They have built a 19-point lead with 10:23 to go. And if you're Alcorn State, you take a deep breath and realize the hole that you dug with your offense has gotten even bigger because of the Grambling offense. And a sharp pass, and the winner of the wrestling match, Larry Donnell. The way could throw the ball pretty hard too. From 1991 to 94, his senior season at Alcorn, 4,863 passing yards and 44 touchdowns. Of course, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 94. The publicity was amazing. His brother, Fred, played for Alcorn as well. And of course, we know his professional career. And the first breakaway run of the night for the Grambling Tigers is Frank Warren. Taken down finally at the 21-yard line by Roderick Williams, who saved a touchdown.
Frank Warren running that football like Steve McNair. One thing Steve could do is get it done on the ground, and take a look at Warren. Small back, deceptive. He's the shifty runner when you talk about Frank Warren and Cornelius Walker, but he's showing some power here as well. Not going down with arm tackles, and look at him turn it to an extra gear, get to the outside, and just one block away from taking that to the house.
45 yards, and it puts Grambling in fantastic field position at the Alcorn 21. Going for the everything bundle, and great coverage that time. There better not be a flag there. Trying to get it to Nick Lewis. Tremendous coverage by the Braves secondary. It looks like Williams is in there again.
Talk about Steve McNair and everything he accomplished. I mean, how often can you just think of one guy in one institution? I mean, if you think about it, you know, when you think Alcorn St, there's only one name that comes up.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve McNair right off the top. You've got these other programs, and you talk about Jackson State where you got Peyton and Slater and these guys, and Grambling with Williams and Harris and Robinson. Alcorn State, Steve McNair.
Second down and 10, make it third down and 10. You know, I got to tell you that Gary Thompson was probably really happy he didn't catch that, because Corey McLaurin was